Congrats to both of you on Arcadian. I really enjoyed the film, and it's been fun watching both of your careers continue to develop and see you guys grow as actors. And Jaden, first off, just one aspect that really impressed me about this film was how you both really felt like brothers. You know, the slight annoyance at each other that you would definitely get being trapped for a long period of time together. How was it kind of getting that chemistry between both of you and getting that brotherly feel?
Dude, I got lucky because I love this man right here. Like he's one of the I can go on and on about how much I adore this person, and that helped a lot. But certainly, I mean, I didn't really grow up with siblings around my age or anything like that, but I know what it's like to have some good friends and you know how it can become competitive, how you compare your maturity and your life experience, and I mean that's what a lot of this movie is about. It's about the dynamic between them and you know Thomas's Thomas's seeking adventure and love and fun in this dark world, and Joseph is focused on their survival and they're staying together. So, I mean, that's and with that comes I'm bigger than you, I'm more mature than you, I'm the big one, I'm faster than you. Like all that shit comes together. Yeah.
Yeah, and Maxwell, I wanted to ask about your character of Thomas because he is seeking for more out of this life, this very limited existence that he has in the post-apocalypse, and there's so much uncertainty. So, can you speak to just bringing that to the character? Because I thought you really portrayed that sense of, wanting more from just his life very well.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think the when we first got into rehearsals and pre-production, I don't know, maybe it's just like a way in for me. I've always grown up loving and really kind of nerding out over animals and their behavior. And I'm a very physical person when it comes to my work. I always find that the physicality of a character is my initial point in that in history. So I think I talked with Ben a lot about this kind of caged animal nature that Thomas has. It's like he's finally it really kind of came at it from a coming of age standpoint. But it's a world where you can't grow up and you are kind of these three people with the last three people to most of our knowledge with the entire world beyond you, but you can't leave your house. So we talked a lot about this kind of caged wolf, caged animal nature that Thomas has. But it's more of a question of, yes, they've survived this many years by staying indoors and following the rules, but I guess Thomas starts to question how much do I want to survive versus how much do I want to live? How much do I want to feel alive? You know, I can follow the rules as much as I want, but I've met this girl. I run 10 miles every day and back to see her. And unfortunately, the stakes are so high in this world that one mistake changes everybody's lives. So yeah, there was this kind of battle between impulse and logic that I really wanted to make sure was there with Thomas. And the big switching point is obviously when my actions of following just my instinct really damage and hurt everybody around me. And that's kind of the first moment we see Thomas start to question himself. Up until that moment, he's really confident in his abilities, running full speed through the woods, trusting that, I'll make it back on time, it'll be fine. And he totally is like a physical minded person up until he really messes up. And yeah, the physicality was my first way in to Thomas.
Yeah, that's wonderfully put, and I really liked how you described that. And Jaden, he mentioned the caged animals. Your character has a caged animal, very literally later on in the film. These creatures, man. What did you like most about your character? Because just with how he was so fascinated by the creatures, he wanted to like learn about them. He wanted to, kind of. He had like a science inquisitive mind. So can you speak to that aspect of your character?
Yeah, I was a bit worried at times. I was of like, is this guy really that smart, Ben? I would ask Ben and be like, did he need this car? Fully. Okay. I mean, a lot of it was like he's just a sucker for knowledge. He reads anything he can, he absorbs everything. And I also think like probably when you're a young kid, nowadays we have this phone of ours that has all the answers. So if that's there, then we don't necessarily need all the answers. I mean, I have this habit of asking a question myself and not Googling it, even though I have access to it. So in a world where you have none of that and you have to survive, I think like you make an effort to really collect all that knowledge and understand how to survive. I mean, it was fun. It was fun like because we had like wonderful set deck and props and also effects and the creature design, like all of that was made it so much easier for me because everything was so like just having all the gadgets and also it was fucking blast to also play with what he knew and what he didn't know, and like using a pizza cutter to cut open the monster when he's doing that autopsy. It's just like shows what he doesn't know, and he's able to build this machine, but doesn't necessarily know how to drive it. So all of that was really fun.
And then my last question, Maxwell, quickly here. Could you just tell me what was most interesting about seeing how Nicolas Cage works? Because I imagine as a young actor, that has to be quite the learning experience and getting to see his process.
Yeah. The first thing that I really picked up off of Nick is how much energy he brings to every single thing. And I think that really is what makes him such a unique and amazing actor. I mean, the first scene that we filmed together was the scene where I'm running home late. It's kind of the first interaction you see between the two characters and gives you an inkling into what that father-son dynamic is. And the way it was written and the way that I kind of read it was I read it as this lighthearted moment between father and son where yes I'm late but ultimately we race each other back and we make it in time. It gives this kind of um intro into Thomas's mind where I can get away with this certain thing because of my physicality. I can run faster than my dad. There is that bond there. But the way that Nick came into it is he really, and I wasn't expecting it on the first take, he really leaned into me on the "you're late," and that took me back a second and kind of made me pause and from then on Nick really approached everything with so much energy and so much emphasis behind everything. Even the dinner table scene is really my favorite scene that we have with Nick. That "are we not men" slams his knife into the table. That was a personal element from his own life. And that really changed what the scene was written as and what it meant in my mind for sure as we carried on throughout it. This is a world where the father, it changed the dynamic between what the father-son relationship was. A lot of it didn't need to be said. A lot of it was just expected. We're living in a society of rules. Are we not men?